Torres. Here's Matty Cash. It's a cash jackpot for Rogers. Final attack of the game. Daniel Marlon. Rogers. Sancho. Tielemans denied. Buendia denied. Buendia again. Camera has a go. Chaotic scenes. Buendia wins it for Aston Villa with the final kick of the game.
Incredible last moment of the game.
That is the goal that will see Arsenal beaten for just the second time this season.
In it goes by Saka. Jesus! What a story! I think it might well have gone in off Mosquera. Look, Jesus tries to get there, but it's Mosquera's head. But Arsenal will take it any which way.
Wow. What a ball it was in the first place. That's incredible. What an incredible end to this game.
And there's the full-time whistle. And I'll tell you something, he's the most relief man in North London tonight. Mikel Arteta.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Arsenal Talk with Larry and Stevie. Stevie, how's it going? How are you, my friend?
Not very bad, Larry.
Love
Time no hear from. I know obviously things have been happening. If you want to briefly touch on it, but how's fatherhood? How's Big Tom?
Oh, I am officially a father, as you just pointed out, and it's been a weird 10 days, mate. Like, it's just been crazy. Obviously, you have kids and you've experienced this on a couple of occasions, but you know, it's just, I don't know, man. The whole thing changes, and when people say like, "Oh, you'll know when you're a parent," sort of thing, and it's like, yes, that's true, but it's never a switch off point. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just sort of transitional. It sort of happens without you knowing, and then 10 days later, you're like, "Holy shit! It's been 10 days of this. Like, what the fuck?" It's like almost on autopilot, to be honest. But yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been fun, challenging, fun, all of it. To be honest, Big Tom's doing all right. So far so good. Drinking and sleeping and shitting and all the regular stuff that kids do. So, but yeah.
How's your nappy changing coming along?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've pretty much mastered it, I'll be honest. I'm right up in there with the Sudocrem as well, and I don't mind it, to be honest with you. It's fine, because the way I look at it, it's like, all right, you're shitting. That's all that matters, really. Like, you know, you have normal bowel movements as an infant.
We've all been there.
So yeah, it is what it is. Don't be embarrassed, Big Tom. Once if you listen to this. In like 18 years or whatever, if you ever find this stuff, that's crazy. But no,
yeah, he looks a big bugger, like.
Yeah, chunkster. I looked at my wife. I was like, "Where the fuck did you keep this guy? Like, where was he kept?" But yeah,
when you held him up, I was like, "Is he like a 3-year-old or something?" He was huge. How many pounds? 15 or something.
So no, he was just over 8 pounds.
Bigger than that.
So it was like 3.6 kilos. They worked it out at. That's what it was, like 3.65 or something. But yeah, so he's just getting back up to birth weight now with the feeding and whatnot, and we've just had to increase the feeding for this chunkster. He sort of like just skyrocketed it from like 40 mil to 120 in seconds. But yeah, he's been fine. He's been fine, mate. And but yeah. So that's why we haven't been as active as we normally would have. Stevie actually gave me a paternity leave. So thank you for that, Stevie. You granted my paternity leave.
I'm a good boss, aren't I?
So, but yeah, it's, you know, I'd like to say I'm glad to be back, but the week that we've had, it's like I don't like it. Should we? I just want to touch a little bit on the Aston Villa match, if you don't mind, because I know we didn't discuss that.
Yeah, good place to start. Yeah.
Obviously, full discretion. I did watch it, but I was sort of like on a couple of hours sleep, so some things I will not remember. But I did obviously catch up with the highlights, and honestly, I don't know what it is about Aston Villa as a team and Unai Emery, but he just really, really knows how to push our buttons. Like, he knows how to play against us, and he has proven that. I think if he'd managed a bigger club, he would be like the biggest he would be the Arteta's arch nemesis, right? That's the way I look at it, because he is the guy who he cannot defeat, or frequently anyway. So yeah, with the Aston Villa match, look, man, it was heartbreaking right at the end, but that's not to say that we even deserved a draw from that match, to be honest, because I just feel that performance was, again, very, very negative. We didn't have the sort of the best players that we could have. That's fair enough, I grant that, but for a team who has been through this for the past 3 years, it's just disappointing to see that not much has really changed in that regard. It just feels like we made additions, and here we are again discussing fucking injuries and how they're gonna plague our season going forward. But Stevie, look, obviously, please jump in at any point with any crazy stuff from the Aston Villa match. I don't want to break it down too much, because obviously it was a week ago. But what did you feel like watching that game? What were your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, with regards to Emery, maybe my take on it's slightly different. He came to a big club with Arsenal, and it didn't work out for him. Goes back over to Spain, and I think maybe he is more suited to a top 6 team as opposed to a top 3 team, if you know what I mean. Maybe the pressure's too much. So say if he went to Liverpool, everyone expects him to do really well, but Liverpool or a Man United or a City or Chelsea, Arsenal, maybe he's not suited for that. I don't know. I think he doesn't like that spotlight. I think he's quite happy being like the Villarreal, Valencia, or wherever he was, Seville. Obviously Aston Villa. I think he's quite happy being at that level, and to prove everyone wrong. He's a bit of the underdog level, right? He likes the underdog, doesn't he?
Underdog level, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, the Villa game, obviously it was 50-50. I think they deserved the goal when they scored. Eze was had a bit of a shit game, to be fair. It was his fault that Cash got in behind, and obviously had that shot went through David Raya's legs. He could blame him, whatever. But then obviously the second half we come back into it. And, we scored, and we looked like the better team for the first sort of 10-15 minutes. And then it kind of reverted back to sitting and inviting pressure. And, the inevitable happened. I mean, yeah, it was a draw, a fair result. Possibly not. I think Villa would be probably the most disappointed. I mean, but, there was certainly value for the 3 points. And just going back to how it ended, and yes, it was the last kick of the game, I understand, but I think I sent you a message with the way that our players reacted, and that was so embarrassing. And to me, that is the mark of losers. You can't. The way we lost that game, the way we reacted, if we'd lost that game and just held our hands up and just went and just shook our heads and got on with it, but just the reaction to me was like spoiled little kids. They've just had the toys taken off them, so all the dummies went out the pram. It was like, that to me was a sign of failure.
This was the.
I don't know about you, but obviously it's been a winning goal.
Yeah.
To me, that's just it's a sign of failure, of worry. What I mean, personally.
So that was the ground stomping and that stuff, yes. Wasn't it? Yeah. David Raya sort of punching a hole in the earth and
like a frog.
Yeah, like fucking relax, bro. But the thing is, what made it even funnier, that part, was just how synchronized it all was. Do you know what I mean? It was just. At least 3 players dropped to their knees to punch the earth, man. It was
embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. Yeah, I can see the passion, and obviously them just sort of like It's sort of, you're right. It sort of feels like they kind of snapped. Do you know what I mean? It was them. That was them going, fuck. the pressure has been felt now, as in like, it felt more of an entitled sort of reaction, didn't it? It was like, oh, fucking hell, I can't believe we actually lost this. It's like, well, you didn't really play the best of games. And yes, you said in the second half we came back. That was maybe for what, like 15 minutes? Trossard came on. He had an impact almost immediately, like he always does. Gyökeres came on for Marino and stuff like that. And yeah, Eze I thought he had a very poor game. And unfortunately, we've said that a few times this season, and we have to be realistic about what we're seeing on the pitch. Some games where he's playing a number 10, he plays fine. If he's playing out on the wing, he obviously can't play there or doesn't like to play there. Either way, it's not really good enough. But yeah, look, Trossard, he's doing what he's doing. He obviously came back straight off the bench, made an impact, but the rest of the team, it's the dropping back that really worries me, and I think it worries you as well, doesn't it? Because as we will get onto, we saw exactly the same thing against Wolves, right? Against a team that's bottom of the league. Aston Villa, I can kind of get it. I can understand the tactic, right? But you're away over there at their ground, trying to get a draw. Fair enough. I kind of understand that. But to sort of let that leak over, to spill over to the Wolves game, that's the embarrassing part, I feel. But yeah, look, that last goal, it was chaos in the box. Could our defenders done a better job? Yes. It was just too chaotic for that reaction that they gave as well. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like they could have stopped it on many occasions. It wasn't like a very brilliant ball through and they cut the Arsenal back line open and blah blah blah. No, it was, everyone was there. They should have done better. So, but yeah, look, I don't really want to talk too much about the Aston Villa game because what we saw there, we saw against Wolves at home, right? So I don't know how you feel. Do you want to? Is there anything else that you want to bring up from the Villa game that sort of significance? Like,
yeah, obviously, the bounce back with the bounce back against Club Brugge, didn't it? It was a really good performance, I thought, against Club Brugge, but it's always going to be, and we're always going to play better against teams that are open. Like teams like Bayern Munich, like Tottenham. All these teams that play quite open football and want to go and score goals, we're always going to play better because we'll find pockets of space, and our flair type players will always find a bit more space than if it's a low block. So against Club Brugge, yeah, fantastic goals. Madweki scored a super fantastic goal, and obviously we got two, didn't he? And brilliant. Who else got the third one? Trossard, was it? No, who got the third one?
Was it not Martinelli?
I can't remember who got the third one now.
Was it not Martinelli? You got the third one?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, fantastic goal by Martinelli. But yeah, it was. Yeah, he got the third. So other than the Club Brugge, it was a nice win. But going on to the Wolves game, wow. Where do we start?
I think look, we'll have to start at the lineup, really, won't we? I mean, in terms of what we actually saw, then let me just, because I just had up. Let me get the lineup back up again. Kind of what we felt. Oh God, why is my card payments just popped up, Stevie? Like, who's trying to steal my money, man? Like, I've got none. Stop this madness. So back line, obviously, look, White, as I've said for a few weeks, that I'd like to see him back, and he made his start. Unfortunate, which we will get to a bit later on. But back line, Timber playing on the left. I don't know how I felt about that. I'll be honest, because if you're going to play him on the left, you might as well just bench him. Give him a rest a little bit, especially against Wolves. You could probably afford to do that, and so a little bit. I don't want to say surprising, but yeah, it was kind of like, well, you could have played that better. But yeah, so that was probably the only thing I would have changed from that back line, because everything else was just it was sort of self-explanatory. So midfield, I mean, look. Eze, Zubimendi, Rice, it seems like it was decent enough.
On paper,
of course, on paper. You'd think, yeah, all right, I'm happy with that, I can live with it. And then obviously, the normal front three, Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli, look.
No, I don't. I personally do. I don't think. I've been saying this for a while. He seems to get his players wrong for every game. lately. I know we're top of the league, right? Just don't get me started on the fact that we're top of the league. It's just an observation that I've noted all the time that we're struggling in games. I mean, we've only picked up like sort of 2 points out of 5 since that home win last night, something stuff like that. But my thoughts were, I think against Wolves, the worst team in the Premiership and the worst team in Premiership history, probably. We should have played 3 at the back with Saliba, Encapier and White or Timber or whatever. And I think we should have flooded the midfield. We should have gone with 5 in the midfield and he should have gone for it. Like, I understand the Rice factor that he's coming back, but I would have gone even better with it. I would have probably put Odegaard, Eze, Wanyeri and Rice in there, and maybe even someone else, and then 3 up front. Because, you know, at home against that team that have only scored like 1 or something in how many games, and the fact of, you know, they haven't won in 20, and we're at home challenging for the championship with 250, 260, 270 million pounds spent in the summer. I'm embarrassed to say that we couldn't break them down. It's all right, people saying that Wolves played really well. I don't think they did. I think they just stopped us. If that had been City, Liverpool, anyone else, it'd have been 5 or 6-0. But it's just Arteta and his setup is wrong. Martinelli's the wrong player for me. He's an impact player. He's no good at breaking teams down. He's better when he's got loads of space to run into. You know,
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Gyökeres, which probably wasn't the right game for him. It's a low block type of team. We should have had Marino on from the start.
Yeah.
And I know Saka did play quite well. We'll come on to them and stuff. But what about Madweki? After what he did at midweek,
Absolutely.
Why wasn't he starting?
Absolutely, Stevie.
I just think, you know, mate, honestly, I just think that it's going to come back to Arteta and his fear. His fear of losing. You know, Man City have lost 4 games and they're 2 points behind. We've lost 2 and we're only 2 points ahead. That's because he would rather lose a game than draw it. Whereas Arteta would rather draw it than win it. And this is the problem. When it's a draw, when we're playing Chelsea, go for it. When we were playing Liverpool, go for it. When we were playing City, go for it. You know, it's against Sunderland. He just has this fear of losing, and it's so negative. And look, we're only 2 points ahead. And you watch I think City play West Ham at home on the early 3 o'clock kickoff, and we don't play at 8 o'clock. We'll be a point behind by the time we play next week. And it's all Arteta's fault. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Stevie. That's fair, mate. That's fair, and it's observations that we've discussed many times again, not just this season, many seasons. But unfortunately, it does seem the way, like that's the way that he's approaching these sorts of games. I mean, even with the Aston Villa match, it's like he was happy with the draw. It's like, dude, you need to get that out of your head, right? You either win or you lose. I know it sounds very black and white, right? Obviously, I know that's not the case, but yes, that is the case when you're trying to be a champion. You know, you want to win as many points as possible. Like, you know, a draw is not really a good enough mindset. Or just because I don't want to lose, I'm happy with a draw. But like, yeah, but if you tried, you could have won that match. Like you said, it's like a 50-50. You could have won that match. And then that's your full 3 points. And everyone would have been like, oh, that was great because Arsenal fought till the end. Brilliant. But you didn't, right? And yeah, I mean, look, coming to the Wolves game, you'd sort of had this expectation where, you know, we should have just rolled straight over them, right? That absolutely no question. On paper, we should have just stopped this game from even being a discussion, right? Just a boring Arsenal won 4-0. See you later, right? But unfortunately, when I sat down to watch this match, I had this sort of like this wave of negativity come towards me, come through me, right? As I was watching the players get on the pitch, I was like, I don't know why, but this really has the setup for an embarrassment. And unfortunately, it's because, you know what it stems from the last 3 seasons, right? This is the time of year where we should be absolutely just out there with, you know, in terms of top of the league, we should be 5, 7, 9 points, whatever it is. But we're not. And that is the issue, actually, because now the pressure is obviously being felt because of the fact that Man City are 2 points, did you say?
2 points.
2 points behind us? It's like, what the fuck?
It's effectively their title to lose, isn't it? If they win every game, they're champions now.
It's honestly I don't know why we hadn't seen this throughout the whole season. Like maybe we just sort of like lived in a bit of a delusion, you know, it's like, oh well, Arsenal's winning, we're top of the league, but we never actually sort of saw what was really happening below us. Do you know what I mean? Now it's like, okay, well, Chelsea have the ability to do some stuff. Again, that's, you know, not all the time. As they've proven, but Man City, shit, that's your main competitor one more time. That's your fucking arch nemesis right now. Do you know what I mean? This is your arch nemesis right now. So this is the team that you shouldn't be scared of. But yeah, they're chasing us, and unfortunately, as always, it's starting to affect the team now. And that reaction at Aston Villa, that was kind of it, where they're sort of realizing, shit. Yeah, they're coming for us, and Guardiola doesn't give up. That guy is relentless, and that's the way we really need to be. But yeah, unfortunately, so yeah, approaching this game was very not. I don't want to say negative, because we were prepared to sort of throw bodies up there, but you know, we overcommitted. There was a point where David Raya was so far up the pitch, where his average would have been like as if he was just at the fucking midway point, that halfway line. So it was very clear from.
I mean, Hwang had that chance, didn't he? Where it literally he was on his own.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
There was one point where Hwang had a chance, and there was 5 Arsenal players running back, and we couldn't catch him. I know that was the best he could do. Really, was shoot from where he shot him. Obviously, Raya saved it, but that was a warning sign.
It was
a wake-up call, and it didn't work. It didn't help.
No, that's my point. It's, you know, we were so far up where that's all it took. If it was a better finisher, if they still had Jimenez, for example, he would have put that away.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
couldn't you?
Yeah, couldn't you? Absolutely. Yeah, very, very good shout. And so yeah, we did get away with that one. Luckily for us, he just wasn't able to, or sort of maybe ran out of steam by the time he got to the box. Raya, brilliant. Again, this match, I thought it was fantastic, to be honest with you. He had some good saves, but again, not a clean sheet. So we'll discuss that when we get to the player ratings. So yeah, look, we still had chances, Stevie. You know, let's not be all negative. Timber had a few chances. Martinelli had a chance.
That's the thing with just what you mentioned, Timber. I mean, you know, he was in the centre forward position. Gyökeres was behind him. You know, what's all that about? He was in front of him again against Club Brugge. I don't know if you remember. He took the ball off. No, it was against Chelsea. He took the ball off Gyökeres' head. Gyökeres was probably straight in for a winner in the last minute. He took it off his head. He did it again there. He took it off Gyökeres' head. Now, is that the manager saying you need to be in the box, or is that Gyökeres not being sort of strong enough to say, look, this is my territory, get out the way? I don't know. It's so frustrating to watch.
It does feel a bit tactical, to be honest. Sort of like a deceiving sort of move. Do you know what I mean? Where they're expecting Gyökeres
and Timber playing centre forward at one point.
You know, we're missing Gabby and like Big Gabby, and that's what he would usually do. He'd find himself there. But again, I feel like this time I could kind of see that he was attacking, like, you know, that was his intention. Like that was his intention going into this match, but I just feel like it didn't really work. And I don't even think it was the low block. I just don't think like we connected well enough as a team. You know what I mean? I don't, like you said, I don't think Wolves played particularly well. It's just we didn't play well at all. Like, you know, I don't think we were at our best. Like, chances were there. Some of those chances should have been finished. Right, they should have been fucking finished. Gyökeres obviously had that chance. Like, the only chance of the match that he had was really late on as a striker, and you think that's not good enough. That is absolutely not good enough. Like, you know, if you're not receiving the ball, don't just sit in the fucking 6-yard box. Go out there and try to take the ball, make something happen, like he was doing before he went off injured. You know, he was doing that. He was the guy to do that. But was it fully? Was the full team sort of the wrong selection? I don't think it was the wrong selection, like, for the full team. But there was some elements of the team that could have changed. That could have been different. But yeah, so going back to that Wang chance, unfortunately, that's where we lost Ben White, because, you know, he was amongst the people running back and pulled a hamstring, sat down, see you later. God knows how long he's going to be out for. So
Depends what grade, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If it's a grade 1, it might only be 2 or 3 weeks. Grade 2, a bit longer. You never know. It could be in the middle of January anyway, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, at the very earliest. So yeah, that's again another injury for us from the defensive line. So yeah, it's unfortunately he is obviously back to sort of that problem of right. All the backups are injured now, and my main players are
We
pretty
get
much injured.
Saliba back, and then we lose Ben White. So it's like, fuck's sake. I know we're going to get Calafiori back because he was suspended for that game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So at least he'll be back, which is a bonus. But...
Yeah, Skelly obviously, he came on. Didn't I don't think
I thought he did all right.
I was going to say I don't think he did sort of good or bad, to be honest. He was just there. He was on the receiving end of that tackle, which was pretty fucking awful, by the way. And look, I was understanding when I watched it yesterday and the VAR and stuff like that. They were like, "Oh, he's trying to pull out the challenge." But then when I watched the replay today, again, I was like, "No, that should have been a red card. That was terrible. That was a terrible challenge."
You know, if that was the other way around, if that was Skelly or if that was Trossard, you know for a fact it would have been either a straight red or it would have been it would have been like, look, you need to go and have a look at VAR, and once he does that, it's a red card. But because it's against Arsenal, they never do. It's blatant corruption. That
I don't think Rob Jones, the ref, had a bad game. To be honest, I don't think he had a very bad game. But
he did all right.
I think that decision he probably should have reviewed that himself. To be honest, because that was terrible. And he only took obviously the VAR's fucking words for it, where it's like, oh, he's pulled out the challenge. So, but yeah, that should have been a red card. To be honest, it would have definitely made a difference because there would have been a man down, but they would have just absolutely parked it right outside the box. Even worse than they already did. Yeah, they wouldn't have. It would have been literally 95% possession because they would have had absolutely no runners if Wang had gone off. But yeah, so that was a contentious point in the match. But to be honest, was that the only thing to blame it on? No, shit. They came back. They almost took a point from us, 2 points from us. So, but yeah, look. Then what was it? When did the goal come? By the way, was it second half?
Ours was the 66th or something, was it?
So let's have a look.
70th minute or something.
So yeah, the own goal. That's right. Yeah. So look, before that goal, real quick, there was a lot of crosses. Right, we really just rained down upon them with like artillery. But I don't think they were that good, right? I don't think the crosses or the long throws or anything I don't think they were that good. Like some of the deliveries was very, very flat from Rice and Saka, and you think, boys,
and Timber.
You need to step up because we can't break them down normally because they're a low block. But this should be bread and butter for us right now. But yeah, we struggle with that as well, to be honest. And look, Declan Rice Saka cross, and then the goal. Was it Saka? It was Saka, wasn't it? No, Declan Rice, wasn't it? Was it Rice or Saka?
No, it was Saka. Saka corner.
Saka corner off the post. And to be honest, yes, okay. So some may see it as like a very good corner, but it just wasn't, was it? Because if the keeper was looking at that bet, like he was watching that, he would have actually caught it because it was literally right there for him. But unfortunately for him, unfortunately for us, came off the post, bounced off his back, and there you go, 1-0.
Yeah.
We didn't celebrate like crazy, which I think the players sort of understood. Where it's like, well, it wasn't on goal, so let's just calm down. But yeah, 1-0. And after that, I thought, right, this is it now. A bit of a change, but unfortunately, that did not come, Stevie. That did not come. Yeah, it was.
Well, what happened was he changed it up, didn't he? He took Eze off, took Zubimendi off.
And Martinelli as well.
Unfortunately, when he seems to do that, and Martinelli, when he does that, it seems to create a big hole in midfield, and we just sat back. And I knew, and obviously when it did eventually come, it just had a feeling that as much as Wolves were so bad, you could just sense something was going to happen. That big guy up front who scored in the end, you could just sense they were just going to get the ball to him. And we were just sitting off, and they were winning all the second balls. And I just thought, look, what's going on? Any other top team going for the championship would have just got that goal again by the scruff of the neck and pushed forward and closed down. But it was so lethargical, so half-hearted. it was just like, oh, we'll easy win this. We just have to just take it easy now and just play out the last 20, 30 minutes. And you could just see it coming, mate. Honestly, I was so frustrated watching it, thinking it's going to come, and it did.
Yeah. Again, this is what I was talking about. Like from the beginning of the match, it had this air about it of negativity, and unfortunately, it happened. You know, the bad thing happened right at the end. But the problem is though, Stevie, because our goal came in the 70th minute, they came in the 90th. That means for about 15, 20 minutes, we were absolutely just sat back, doing nothing up there, you know. And Jesus obviously came on during that period of time, and I was glad to see him, I'll be honest. But again, in all fairness, I didn't see him doing much. As in, when he came on, I didn't think that he was actually going to do much, you know. Maybe, okay, something could have happened. But we'll get to our second goal. But yeah, so for 20 minutes, or 15, 20 minutes, we were just sat back, and it was very, very, very poor to see from a team that's challenging for the title. You know, it's not good enough, and it's performances like that against Wolves that will honestly just will lose us the championship. It was terrible to watch. So just very negative, and Arteta came out and he said during his post-match interview, he said that we sat back and don't really know what happened. It's like, are you crazy? What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah.
Like, that's surely you could have told the team to get the fuck out there if it wasn't your plan. But that was clearly your plan because they executed it to perfection, right?
He always has these excuses, doesn't he? And I just think to myself, how many times do you want to keep coming up with these excuses? It was the same against Villa, against Chelsea, against Sunderland, the same excuses. But you're the manager.
Make
you're
the change,
one playing this negative brand of football. You know, it's the mentality's all wrong, isn't it? I mean, I've wrote a couple of notes down here, and I just think, you know, at the start of the season, I'm always a man half, a glass half full. But I've been saying it throughout the season that we're not playing really well enough to considering City going to chase us down. So for me, the Premier League, no chance. Champions League, maybe more of a chance, but still no chance. Carabao Cup a possibility, and the FA Cup's possibility. I just think the Premiership and the Champions League is probably going to be too much for us again this season. And I just think it's the mentality, it's all wrong, and that's them. Is it the managers, is it the players? I just personally think that is all from the manager or the coach, the coaching staff in general. There's just this fear of losing. That they're not playing with freedom, they're playing with fear. And three seasons ago, when we were actually beating teams 4-5, 6-0, it was playing with freedom. And then we've got into a title race the last 2 seasons. It's now we're playing with fear. And I watch other teams and I watch other managers and I watch the way people play. And it just seems like a lot. I was watching Sunderland earlier, and I was watching Villa, and Villa are only 3 points behind us. And people say, "Oh, they're not in a title race, or they might be in a title race because they concede too many goals." But so what? They're 3 points behind. They're playing with freedom. We aren't. It's fear, and this is what's going to derail our season. And by the end of January, we won't be top. We could, like I say, we'll probably be top next week because we go to Everton next week. Well, who knows? We might win. I don't know. But it's just this fear that's crept into every time we play because City keep relentlessly winning, and that we can just see it. We get drop points, they win. We drop points, they win. We never do it the other way around, do we? It's just you can see it coming. I know you can sense it in my voice, and you can sense it in my lethargy. I can see it coming.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, look, I still think it's a little bit. It's not too early though, is it? Because it's almost halfway. No, it's the halfway point.
The mentality's gone.
It's the halfway point.
Get that mentality back.
It's the halfway point.
Mate.
Yeah, you're right. It is that. Yeah, we're almost approaching that thing now. When is week fucking 19? Is that? Like,
that's when we play Villa at home, isn't it, or something? Oh no, we've got Brighton at home.
January sometime, right? I think.
No, we play Everton next week, and then we've got the Carabao Cup semi against Palace.
Jesus Christ!
On the 27th or something like that, and then I think the next 2 Premiership games are Everton away and Brighton at home.
Okay. All right. Well,
and I think the Brighton at home's the halfway.
It's the halfway point. Okay.
Or Villa at home or something.
So yeah, look, it is unfortunately we can't keep using that justification anymore. It's that time of the season now. It's crunch time, where this is where deciders happen, where things are literally, it's do or die basically, right? This is the time now, and unfortunately for us, it's like you said, I sense it in your voice, mate. It's every year. Every fucking year, like, it's this shit that we have to talk about, and I hate talking about this. And yeah, okay, last year was Liverpool, but now it's back to City, right? And that makes it even worse that we're still talking about Man City chasing us down and them most likely winning it, right? It's just so painful. It really is. I don't know. I'm still not 100% given up, but
I'd throw the towel in yet.
I'd say 73% given up here, right? That could change, but I don't know. Yeah, it's very frustrating for sure to be back at this situation. So, but yeah, look, we'll wrap up in terms of the match itself, and then we'll get onto the player ratings. But yeah, that goal came through, and then obviously, Jesus ghost. The ghost of Jesus scored that, but it was definitely Mascara. So, and I love how Arteta still couldn't admit that at the post-match conference, where he was like, "Yeah, a combination of Gabby and Saka," and you're thinking, "Are you fucking dumb? It was their player. It was literally Mascara's brother, for fuck's sake, man."
That was, wasn't it? I couldn't believe it though when I'd sent you a text, didn't I, saying, "Look, we've spent 250 million. We can't even beat the shittest team in Premier League history," and you went 2-1. And obviously you were quite far in front. It must have been 30 seconds because it didn't look like we were scoring.
Yes.
And I just thought you meant 2-1, we're going to score. And I was like watching it, and I just thought, nah. Fucking hell.
It was a minute 10 seconds before, yeah. A minute 10 seconds before. That's why.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell. And I thought it must have been offside or something, or handball or something, anything. But yeah, I mean, we did it, but like you say, it's not a sign of champions, is it? Like, Wolves scored 3 goals and lost. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. It's fantastic how they literally we were that good that we made the other team work for us, man. That's how good we are. That's how much of a magician Arteta is. When they say magician as a manager, Arteta is the guy, because he performs some fucking voodoo on them motherfuckers. But yeah, it was. Look, I was happy as fuck because I thought it was Jesus. I was like, oh my God, yes, I love this moment. And then the replay came, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, at least he made the effort to actually go up and attack the ball, but unfortunately his mate behind him decided to end the game. He was like, all right, I feel sorry for Arsenal. I want them to win. I want my brother to win the titles. Thanks, Mascara. We love you. Brilliant, but yeah. So obviously happy that we came away with the 3 points, but we cannot continue like that, man. We cannot continue, especially that 20 minute period after our first goal. We cannot. What happened to the times when we just used to be like, right, we are going to suffocate the shit out of you until we get at least another 2 goals out of this fucking match, right? And then we can drop back. If we did that, fuck it, drop back all you want. If it was 3-0 and they drop back for that long, fuck it. I don't give a shit, right? I don't care about this clean sheets or breaking Chelsea's record or whatever. I don't care about that, right? There's only one thing that me and you personally, Larry and Stevie, care about, is we need that fucking Premier League title, right? That's what we need, or Champions League, whatever. So yeah, happy with the 3 points, but just that needs to be stopped, man. It's a menace the way that we're playing.
Yeah, I think the overall feeling and deflation of the fact that yes, we won, but it didn't actually feel like a win. I don't know, that sounds so like bizarre and kind of back to front. I just think it was the manner in which we got the 3 points. I don't know, I can't really describe it. It's just, would a draw have been a better result for the team to kick us into gear for the next sort of round of games, or the fact is that we won? Is that going to be better for our mentality? I really can't call it. I really can't call it, mate. I don't know. Let's just move on.
Yeah, no, that's true. It did. Yes, we won, but it didn't really feel like a win, and that's yeah, that's what hurts. That's what hurts, and that's what puts us in this mind frame moving forward. So hopefully we see some good performances in the next few matches before the new year. And I just really hope we go into the new year, obviously top of the table, and then at least there's something like they can have a discussion about during the fucking couple of days that they're off or whatever. Be like, look, lads, we need to pull our shit together because we've been in this position before and it's about to happen again. So let's not fucking, we should be prepared for this exact fucking moment, right? So that's fine. Look, if these last couple of weeks have been more reserved because Arteta wants to make sure that he's got the best players back for the new year, then that's fair. Like that's fine. Okay, that is fine. But unfortunately, the way that it looks to us, because we've lived through this for a few seasons now, it just doesn't. It sort of falls under the category of like, oh, okay, deja vu. This shit's about to happen again. So, I hope it's the former. I hope it's a bit of wishful thinking there, but I hope it is. And but yeah, look, let's just move on. Let's do some player.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think that's been on my mind. The fact is Arteta waiting for all his good players. They probably could come back. I know Saliba came back, whether he was 100%, I don't know. But I think you're right in the fact is he waiting for, obviously, Gabriel to come back, Havertz to come back, a couple of others, obviously Max Darman's injured now, but, it does seem to me like he wants to have a good crack at it going into the new year, stay there or thereabouts by the turn of the year and then see what happens. But I think we've missed a trick in a few of the games, and that's obviously down to Arteta, not going for it against Chelsea, etc., etc. But let's move on. Let's do some player ratings, mate.
Cool. Yeah, we'll flash through the some player ratings because I just feel like with some of the players that we'll discuss, it just would be repeating ourselves, and I don't really want to repeat myself. Right, I just hate doing that, especially on a podcast as well, because shit, let's try to keep it fresh, like cilantro. What? That's not what? What is that? What the fuck is that? That's parsley, right? I'm sure cilantro is parsley, I think. Or coriander, I don't know, one of the two. Fucking Americans, goddamn Yanks. All right, okay. We'll call this episode Fresh Like Cilantro.
They'll get a load of views.
Fuck's sake.
I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
Should we start from front line? We start from front line.
Go on then, for a change. All right, go on then.
Why not, right? We'll start with the boy himself, Gyökeres.
The Yok.
The Yok, he's got 6.4. That's his rating here. I feel maybe that one chance that he had where he sort of turned the defender near the end of the match. Maybe that chance gave him a 0.4 because he was a straight 6 for me. I don't think he did much, to be honest. And I know we've said before about Gyökeres that he may not score, but he does other things. I don't think he did that either, to be honest. So that's just me. I think a 6 is probably the way I'm going to go with this one.
No. Yeah, I think the score is probably a fair reflection of his game, but I don't think that's a fair reflection of the team, because we know that Gyökeres does certain things in certain games, and I think if he does play against Everton, which Arteta probably won't start him, and this is where I think he gets it completely wrong, because the game against Everton would be perfect for Gyökeres to start, because Everton they won't sit back as much, obviously, as Wolves, and they'll give Gyökeres space to run into and to take players away from the players, but Arteta will get it wrong. And against Wolves, he got it wrong because Gyökeres had no service. He was man-marked all the time, and the whole team didn't look for him. I think there was only Trossard, actually, that passed him when he came on, and that was in the 60-odd minute. So as much as people are slating Gyökeres, I think it's down to the team to find Gyökeres' strengths. When you look at Gyökeres, what he did for Sporting, they play to his strengths. We don't. And this is Arteta, and he's going to look at failure, Gyökeres, because of the way the team play. So I'm sorry. Yes, he's a 6.4, but it's not his fault, and that's all I want to say on the matter.
That's a fair point. And usually I would agree with you because I do really like Gyökeres, but on this occasion I feel like he didn't really help himself either, to be honest. Yes, the team didn't perform for him or in tune with him, but I don't think he helped himself either with much that he did. So, but that's fair. That's fair. 6.4. We're in the ballpark, right? And then we got Martinelli.
Yeah.
Martinelli, he's got a 6.3 here. It's a bit.
Sorry, you just broke up. Kind of.
Sorry, yeah, 6.3 Martinelli.
So he's slightly worse than York.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But again,
I don't know how that works.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know how he's worse than York, to be fair, but I think with Martinelli, I don't know. I mean, 6.5 is probably right. Do you know what I mean? He had a couple of chances. He was a bit livelier than most of the team, but yeah, I don't think it was anything more than that. In all honesty, 6.5 at the very most.
With Martinelli, it's like I said to you. Yeah, I think with Martinelli, it's like I said to you at the start of the game. I don't think it was a game for him. You know, with a low block, he's always doesn't do very well against when we play at home. And it's a low block. He never seems to play very well. But in the Champions League, like I said to you, the team are open. They're not sitting back. They actually want to go for it because they're a better level of footballer. So he gets space and he has better games. But when he's got to break teams down, he's shit. He's fucking useless. And, you know, 6.3, 6.4. I know you're saying, yeah, he did okay. I think just before he came off, he had that one chance. And you saw in his eyes, they lit up. He thought, oh, he's the chance here to get my goal. But, you know, anyone else would have, with a bit of football intelligence, like we keep saying about it, would have squared that for a tap-in for someone.
Actually, you're right. I'm gonna drop it from a 6.5 to a 6.2 because of that header that he should have scored right at the back post in the first half. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just remembered that. Yeah, that was terrible. That should have been a goal. Like 100%, that should have been a goal. And the commentator was like, "Oh, he saw it late." No, he didn't see it late. He followed that ball to where he headed it, so he should have done better there. But maybe too powerful for him. He couldn't get the sort of neck movement.
Quite high. It was coming from a high height, wasn't it? It wasn't. It was a low height.
True,
so it was quite high. So I don't know.
He didn't. The thing is, he didn't jump though. He didn't jump. Like the ball came to him, and he sort of like he just didn't have the. I don't think the neck strength to direct it. If that was a Gyökeres right at the back post, I think he probably would have put that away, because he just seems like a bigger guy, or a Marino exactly. So, but yeah, Martinelli, like you said, he's a second half player, and unfortunately, we have two sub players, as in like Trossard and Martinelli. They're always good when they come on, like, you know, as a sub, but we still don't have that starter on the left wing, right? Does that make sense?
No.
Eze is not the guy. Yeah. Eze is not the guy for that, as we've seen, and we know that now. So we're back to on the left wing. It's like, well, now we actually need a left winger. Okay. Now we need a person who plays on the left wing, not someone who's a right winger who can play on the left. No. We need a fucking left winger who's a left fucking winger.
We need a Rafael Leao.
Yeah,
we need a
maybe not
Semenyo.
Yeah, Semenyo. Yeah, definitely. I can see Semenyo. We need someone like Doku, basically, who's a starter in a like you said before. But yeah, maybe not Leao. I've seen Leao play. That guy's a fucking shit. That guy's a donkey, man, most of the time. He just can barely run, but he'll gallop, but like very rarely. Right, moving on to Star Boy Saka. Okay, so he's got an 8.1 here, and he got the man of the match. Don't know about an 8.1. That's a bit too generous. I did think he had a decent-ish match. Like, there was a lot of stuff happening on the right hand side, man. Like, we can't deny that. Do you know what I mean? And it's because of him that they're happening. So I can't, I can't really give him an 8.1 just because of that fucking corner, which was lucky. And again, it was, in all honesty, was probably, in most cases, in 90% of the cases, would have been a shit corner anyway, because the keeper should have had that. But anyway, I'd say for me, he's somewhere between a 7 and a 7.5, to be honest. That's the way I look at Saka. I can't rate him any more than that, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I'm not hating on Saka. I think it was probably one of his better games for a long time.
I agree.
Yeah. Was he man of the match? Possibly, because obviously no one else had a greater game. I don't know. Maybe someone else. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of the chances kind of came from him. He obviously scored. Well, he didn't score, but he set up the goal for Jesus. Well, the own goal, and he obviously took the corner for our first goal. So he was rightly involved in everything that was happening, kind of thing. Was it his best game? The defender, I thought, played him quite well. He was very, very close to him all match. I thought, even on Martinelli, they set up really well on both of our wingers. So did that have an influence? Did they not have much space? But yeah, overall, I think Saka probably deserved the man of the match for me. 7.5, 7.6, 8.1's a bit generous, like you say, but 7.6 for me.
Okay, sorry, can I just give you a couple of stats, right, according to what I'm looking at? Are you ready? So in 90 minutes that he played, he had one shot, and that was a blocked shot from outside the box, right? He had six touches in the opposition box. And big chances created too, because obviously the corners and whatnot. And passes, he's always half decent anyway. Crosses, he was 50%. But two big chances created, obviously because the own goals, the own goal assist. So I'll give him that again. He was probably our best player on the night, but yeah, 8.1 is a bit too extreme. So yeah, 7.5 maybe. Yeah, that's fine. I can live with that. But that's not to hate on Saka, by the way, right? Just so people out there can fucking understand. That is not to hate on Saka at all. And right, where are we? Now we're moving on. We'll move it on, Stevie. To should we do Declan Rice? We'll do Declan Rice. He got a 7 here. Do you know what? I think it was kind of close to Saka levels of performance this match, to be honest. You know what I mean? Apart from obviously Saka had the what's it called, the two chances created, like the own goal assist. But I think Declan Rice had a decent performance. There was only so much that he could actually do without the rest of the team. So I feel like 7 seems about right for Declan Rice. How do you see him?
Yeah, he played okay, didn't he? We didn't have much to defend, to be fair. I think he stayed on till the end. Did he stay on till the end? Right.
Yeah, I think he did. So give me 1 second, please. Let me check for you. Yes, he did. Right to the very end.
Because if he did, I thought he might have went off, and that's why they pushed on. Because surely, he as a captain in waiting, in commas kind of thing. He should have had more of a control over the midfield, and him and Odegaard obviously sat back and let them come on to us. So as good as he has been over the past sort of few months, that was one of the games where he should have took charge, really, personally, and stopped their pressure that was mounting. But I suppose in the last sort of 20 minutes, I actually didn't think he was on. First half, he was good. He obviously had that shot on target, which caused a save. Or was that the second half? It was the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He had a free kick that just sailed over the bar. I think he did okay. I don't think it was his best performance, but I think a solid 7 is probably about right.
Yeah, I agree. And you're right. In that 15-20 minute period when they were on top of us, it just sort of felt like Rice was like, well, I'm tired now. So I'm going to sit back now. I'm tired. No one else is doing much, so I'm just going to chill out. Supermendy. He got 7.1.
Do you know what? I felt as though, because it was so easy for the Arsenal players in the first half, I thought that it was too much like a practice match and they weren't trying as hard. And I noticed Supermendy give the ball away a few times that caused us a bit of trouble. Now, is that doubt the fact is that he wasn't trying wasn't trying hard enough, he wasn't giving Wolves enough respect. But I just felt as though it was played at just like a practice testimonial type game. There wasn't any intensity, and that's the whole atmosphere around the team, the mentality of it. It was like, no, look, we're here for a championship. We want to win the league. Nah, it felt like just a testimonial to me.
Yeah.
And he was probably at fault for a couple of giveaway balls. I don't know if you've got the stats for him.
Yeah, so with Zubimendi, where was he at? He had about 87% passes, 6 duels won, and that was 2 interceptions. That was pretty much it, to be honest. Ground duels 0 out of 2. So again, those are the couple of mistakes that he made. But yeah, I don't think that it was right to take Zubimendi off for Marino. In that, do you know what I mean? I don't. If anything, you could have probably pushed Odegaard somehow a bit further up and then kept Eze in that sort of position. But you know, again, it's not like I don't think Eze had as bad of a game as he did against Villa, but I still don't think he had a very good game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could have been better for sure. But I mean, look, that was just a symptom of the whole team. So, so with Zubimendi 7.1. I could probably go for a 6.
I'm saying 6.8.
Yeah, literally you took that 0.8 out of my mouth. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 6.8. But if he'd stayed on for the rest of the match, maybe probably could have been a 7.1. But as much as I didn't like him coming off, it's not like he was sorely missed, right? Yeah. Right. So with Eze, he got a 7 here. Now, what are you thinking? Is that right? Is that not right?
No, I think that's a bit generous that for him, because again he's got this sort of laid back, sort of on the beach attitude where I think he lost the ball a couple of times and he hasn't got any intensity about him. It's like he's just playing on the beach in California or something. Do you know what I mean? He's got that way about him that he can do some fantastic things, and he has got immense skill and he can make things happen, but I just think he needs to just get focused a bit more, and his focus is kind of not there all the time, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what your thoughts are, but I didn't think he had a great game. I think he had one little run and he was trying a few things but they didn't come off. He was trying to make things happen, but was there any runners? This is the thing. He played a nice ball through for Saka at one point, which really resulted in a goal. But other than that, I think it was pretty below par again from him, which is quite worrying to say, to be fair, for someone that we've spent a lot of money on and pinned so much hopes on, to push Odegaard. But
so let me just give you some stat lowdown. Are you ready for this? Right? And the thing is, right. So I'm going to read you these stats real quick, and he still got a 7. I don't understand how that happened. So total shots in general, none, by the way. Touches in opposition box, 1. Successful dribbles, 2 out of 4. Touches, 35. 35 touches in attack. Are you crazy? Fuck. What did he have? He had some good passing, 81%. But again, it's just passing that shit. I can get 100% passing if I'm just going sideways and going safe. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a normal human being, I can jump on that pitch and make the fucking passes and get 100% accuracy just by doing dumb fucking 2-yard passes. But yeah, so duels won. Yeah, look, I don't know how we got a 7, to be honest, but I think a 6.5 for Eze, probably a little bit generous as well, but I'll stick with that. I don't think a 7 is nowhere near. So,
no, you're right.
Right, moving on to the back line. We'll start with, obviously, look, I was going to say we'll start with Ben White, but fuck.
He went off after 24 minutes or something.
Yeah, so let's not talk about Ben White. It was like 30 minutes or something, but either way, I don't care. Let's not talk about Ben White. Lewis Skelly was in this place, right? Or he came on for Ben White because did Timber move back? Timber moved back, didn't he? Timber moved back to the right, yeah. So we'll start with Timber then. Fuck it, Timber. For both positions, they're giving him a 7.
Sorry, you're breaking up there. What did they give him?
7. They gave him a 7 for Timber.
They just give him a 7.
Yeah. What do you think?
To be fair, the defence, we didn't have to do anything, did they? They had, at the end, 2 shots on target, we scored with 1. I think his crossing wasn't to speed. It wasn't up to standards, personally. I think he didn't beat his first man. Amount of times he must have crossed it, and I thought, bloody hell, it's just got the first player, and they just headed it away. And obviously then he was in the way for Gyökeres at one point, playing centre forward.
Yes, he was. Yep.
He did okay, but I didn't think, he had a great game. I didn't think, he stood out and he played brilliantly. I think 7, 6.9. You know, I think he was very good personally. What about you?
Yeah, maybe a 6.7 for me, to be honest. Even though, like, when you look at his stats, you think 4 touches in the opposition box, and then you look at Eze with 1, and you think, are you fucking... What the hell is happening here? What is going on?
What's going on? I know. Yeah.
Crosses, by the way, just to confirm what you said, 0 out of 4. So that's not good. So I don't know how.
Unbelievable.
He again, apart from that one chance that he had at the beginning of the first half, I just don't think he did more than that. To be honest, he did his duties, okay, I guess, but you know, a 7's a bit fucking. This is still a bit generous. So 6.7 for me, I think. I think that's probably about right. Then moving on to Piero Encapier. He got a 7.8.
I liked Encapier. Yeah,
I thought he had a good game.
I thought him and probably Saka tied for my man of the match. Personally, I thought Encapier was
good shout.
It was great, and this is what I've been wanting to see. And I'm glad that I mean, I know he didn't do very well against Villa, but you know, it was against Villa and second game or something that he started. So I'm not really going harsh on him for that game, for that error. You know, we still should have defended that goal. But no, I think he played really, really well last night. He was very on the. He was always on the front foot. He was always trying to push the ball forward. He wasn't negative. He wasn't trying to go sideways or backwards. You know, he was a threat. I thought he played really well, and he did do some quite some good interceptions. I know he might have been at fault for their equaliser, but bloody hell, the other guy was like 6'10" or something, 25 stone, and
like, come on.
You know, if we had Gabriel there, you know, who knows? But no, I thought he played really well, and impressed with him. Yeah, good.
Yeah, same. He's been very good in the few matches that he's played, to be honest. And I liked him. I liked him against Wolves as well. And look, even the stats themselves, from the passing to defending, it's just very. He's up there, and there's a reason why he was probably the best defender on the pitch. And you know, everything's sort of standing out here. So yeah, very, very pleased that we have someone like that who can step in. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Mascara got injured, and we don't have him available. But you know, he's been all right. You know, next to Saliba, he's been fine. I think there was a moment where Saliba was, or maybe it started off where Saliba was playing on the left of the back of the two centre backs. Wasn't really a big fan of that, but I think that sort of changed by the end. And maybe it could have just been like a split moment where they were just running back to positions, but that's where I looked at it, I was like, whoa, the fuck? I don't like Saliba on that side. But yeah, either way, Encapier was very good. And 7.8, yeah, I'll go with that, because again, very good defensively. But and then we move on to Saliba, 7.1 for our big boy, Big Bill. What do you think?
Yeah, don't think he did anything wrong. He played quite well, to be fair. He was. I think we just showed you how much we have missed him, and I think if we went against Villa, we probably wouldn't have lost that game. But
I agree.
You know, that's gone now. But yeah, I thought he played really well. I think a 7.5 for me. I thought, you know, from what I remember, the eye test, I remember thinking, you know, he's got himself out of trouble there. He's moving forward. He plays the ball well. He's a threat in the box, in the opposition box. Yeah, I think he had a decent game personally. He
did. I think maybe the sort of the Wang Hee-chan chance, probably everyone was to blame there, to be honest, because everyone was just so far forward. But you know, I feel like maybe with Saliba, his usual ploy is to sort of be in that centre spot. But on this occasion, he was up there as well. But look, yeah, 7.5. He was only second best to fucking Encapier. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking at stats wise. So yeah, happy with Saliba. And like you said, if he was playing against Villa, probably we wouldn't have lost that match. But yeah, it is what it is. And then just real quick on, I know we started it off with Ben White, but Ben White, whilst he was on, again, working really well down the right hand side with Eze and Saka. I really enjoyed what they were doing, but it didn't last very long, did it? And that's the shame about it, really. It didn't last very long. And Lewis Skelly came on. For me, I know we briefly discussed it. For me, I don't think he did much when he was on, but he didn't do anything wrong, really.
You know, I liked it. I mean, obviously, it was only against Wolves, but I personally thought when he came on, he was quite direct, and he didn't just want to pass it sideways and backwards. He wanted to go forward, and I think there was a couple of occasions that he did actually sort of do his marauding runs forward, and I quite like that about him. He's not the quickest, but we can afford to be not as quick against the likes of Wolves at home. So this is down to Arteta. He needs to get the tactics right and play the right players for the occasion. And I thought Skelly did okay, to be fair. He wasn't put under any pressure from tricky wingers, but going forward, I thought he did okay.
Yeah. For me, look, it was just a normal match for Skelly, to be honest. Nothing stood out, which is fair enough. But like I said, apart from that tackle that he almost fucking got his leg snapped off, but apparently that wasn't a fucking sending off. That wasn't violent conduct, whatever. But yeah, so what did he get? He got 6.9, I think, didn't he? I think he got 6.9 here. Yeah, sure, I'm happy with that. I can go with a 6.9.
I'm all right with that.
And then obviously we had a few players come on, like Jesus maybe came on a little bit late for any sort of rating, but again seemed very lively. There was a moment where he was running down the byline, and he just sort of didn't have the pace to do anything with. He tried to do like a little trick move, but he just couldn't catch up to it at all. But that's fine. That's expected. I don't want him to like start scoring hat tricks the moment that he's back. It'd be lovely if he did, but I can't expect that from him. So, and then look, Marino, they've given us 6.8. Yeah, all right, that's whatever. Like it was one of those.
He was useless.
Yeah, I don't think he came on for the right position. To be honest, I thought when we saw him, I thought he was going to come on for Gyökeres, but. Yeah, I just didn't really want him in that position, to be honest. But there you go.
It was a wasted sub, that, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I
thought it was a wasted sub. He didn't do anything when he came on.
No, Superman could have just done a better job.
To come on because, exactly. Yeah. I just don't. I don't think it was. It was like we were playing with 10 men. Personally, I don't think he did anything, but. We won in the end, didn't we? So
absolutely. Odegaard 6.6. Again, didn't really do much when he came on. He's got this new addition to his playing style where he shoots from the box now, from outside the box. That's fine. Keep doing that. At one point, something will go in. We don't mind that at all, to be honest, because he's clever. He's clever enough. The thing is, he's clever enough to know when to shoot and when not to shoot. But it just needs to fucking find the back of the net. It needs to be more accurate, really. So, but yeah, 6.6 for Odegaard.
Yeah, it needs to be a bit more like what's his face, Morgan Rogers.
Yeah. Well, he can't be that guy because Morgan Rogers got speed. But
did you see the goal? Did you see his goal? Did you see Morgan Rogers' goal?
No, I didn't. Is it good?
That's what I was alluding to there. Odegaard, when he was shooting, I thought, it's okay trying, but try and get it on target at least, not over the bar. Morgan Rogers got the winner for Villa today. Fantastic goal. Running with the ball, bang.
I'm going to catch up on Match of the Day.
Perfect for us.
I'm going to catch up on Match of the Day later to see what's been happening.
And
then Trossard, obviously, Trossard's good when he comes on anyway, so they've given him a 7. I mean, that's a bit extreme, to be fair, but fine.
What did they give him?
7.1. 7.1, sorry, they're giving him.
Yeah, it's glad to see. I'm glad he's back.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he's back because he's just. This is the standard, though. Like Trossard probably isn't a starter in any team in the top, chasing the title, but it just shows you the lack of depth that we've got on that left side, and I think that this is evident that it's either going to be sorted out. It won't be sorted in January. I think they'll probably buy another midfielder or something, or a defender. But definitely in the summer, the left-hand side has got to be looked at. And as much as I do like Trossard and he can change the game, he's not a starter. And he's not quick. Mm-hmm. He's just a clever player. So I don't know.
He's a good impact player for sure.
Back to America, mate.
That's all right. Okay. I like Trossard just like you when he comes on as a substitute. I think that's when he does his best work, and I don't mind that. And to be honest, I think he's probably sort of relishing in that right now. In that fact that he's like, right, I'm going to come on. People are going to expect me to do something, so this is going to be the boost that I need. I'm happy with it. But the problem always comes back to, well, who's our fucking starting left winger? That's the main issue here. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's the problem for me really. As much as I like seeing Trossard coming on, but it's like, well, he's come on because Martinelli was playing, from the start. He wasn't good enough, and we've just wasted 45 minutes where we didn't have a left wing. So, yeah, I know it's a bit negative sort of chain of thought, but that's just the way. That's the only way I could probably look at that. And before we do leave, David Raya, he got a 6.6. I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest. I think a 7 for Raya would have been fine. Can't really blame him for that goal, to be honest.
You're probably right. He couldn't do anything with the goal. No, couldn't do anything for that. And it was at such speed, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's at close range as well. So that's the thing. And just real quick on Raya, I mean, those couple of saves that he made against Watkins, in the Aston Villa match, were just fucking brilliant. The way that he got himself down that low to stop Ollie Watkins from like the first, 20 minutes was unfucking believable. And yeah, if we'd won that match, honestly, Raya would have been man of the match because he was just fantastic. But anyway, so right, do we have anything else that you want to add, by the way? Go on.
Just a quick one. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Madweki should have started?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point that you bring that up because I really wanted to see Madweki, and there was no reason for Madweki not to come on because, it's not like Wolves were changing it up. They were just doing one thing, right? It's like, just bring Noni on. He's a bit tricky. At least he can probably drive a little bit further. Because with Saka, it's like, well, they know he's going to fake left, go right to the byline, cross it in. Or if he's just going to jump on his left foot and then take a shot. So very easy sort of to mark, whereas Noni is a bit more unpredictable when he plays. And I like that. I didn't really see any strong reason not to include Noni in the match, but it would have been a very good good
just
sub.
like, obviously I think Arteta has said it in the past, hasn't he? He said the fact is, if you're doing it, you'll play. And I always think that you should reward players that are playing well because now that's just knocked Madweki back. He's thought, well, I've scored 2 in midweek, 2 wonder goals.
Bangers,
kind of thing.
Bangers.
Yeah. And then I'm back on the bench, and I know it's all in hindsight. We can't replay the game again and go back and say, right, just put Madweki in there and see what would have happened. But you just think to yourself, well, surely he's earned that starting place, and then if he's not doing it, I understand, then take him off, or give him 3 or 4 games to start just to see how well he's doing. But this is what pisses me off with Arteta, and I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling the fact that we're going to lose the title. Not lose the title because we never had it, but I think it's just where week by week it'll just be 2 points, we'll be behind, then we'll draw, they'll win, it'll be 5 points, then we'll win, it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and then it'll creep to 7 by March, and then it's just gonna go, mate. Honest, I feel so deflated after that performance, and obviously City winning, and then I don't know, it's just Arteta in general, and I know for a fact we won't win it with him. Been saying it since he was appointed, and I don't really want to rant. I know it's a rant, but I'm ranting the fact is that I didn't want Arteta to start with, and I just feel as though it's just coming to the point again where we're doing the same things, like you said earlier. We're seeing the same shit, the same mentality, year in, year out. We get to a certain point, we start off really well, and then we start panicking, thinking, we've had such a good start, but City or Liverpool are still there, and we still can't get over that line because of the mentality. Mate.
Yeah, I agree, Stevie, and this is something that I really didn't want to discuss any further this season, but unfortunately, it's what we've been.
No, we won't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's not our fault. Unfortunately, that's just the way our team is playing. So that's the only thing that we can discuss because that's what they're giving us. So yeah, it's. I didn't really want to, do this for the end of 2025. To be fair, but here we are again. And yes, obviously, I know that we've gone a little bit negative rather than pick out the positives. I'm sure there was positives, but I didn't see them. So, so it is what it is with that one. But yeah, look, Stevie, is there anything else that you want to add before we do leave this evening?
Just a quick one on F1 if you want.
Oh God, do we have to? Do we actually have to though? Because I don't want to talk about Lando winning the championship. As far as I'm concerned, Max is the people's champ. So fuck it.
Do you know,
God.
I was going to send you a few things over the year that happened and stuff, and I think, you know, it's Max's fault for being a cunt. As much as I think he's a great driver, right? If you remember what happened, I don't know where it was.
Against Spain. In Spain against Russell.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his own fucking fault.
When he dive bombed him, yeah.
He cost himself, yeah.
He did.
You know, pull over, no. And then he was like, nah. And then on that race, is Lando? Is he not Lando? Is Ferrari driver? What's he called?
Leclerc. Hamilton.
Not Lewis. Is Leclerc?
Charlie.
How's he getting on? Is he? You know, I quote him for someone else to do him a favour, and it's just fucking awful. It's such a sore bad loser. And as much as I do admire him for it, I know that you don't like Lando, but at the end of the day, he's English and, you know, he's a bit of a twat. But I wanted to see Piastri win it personally, but that didn't happen. But I just didn't want Max to win it because of just his petty outbursts throughout the season. And as much as I do like him, and I do think, but he's a bit arrogant, and he's like, look, I'm coming through, and you can get out of the way, and even if I'm not at the front corner, if my car's not at the corner first, you know, I'm coming through. And, you know, as much as I know you love Max, it's
nowadays
just, that's personal opinion at the end of the day. And obviously the Antonelli thing, you know, he pulled over and that cost him like how many points? 2 points, and I don't know. It's one of those things, wasn't it?
That Antonelli thing was quite funny because there was, I think it was during the last race, wasn't it, when Antonelli asked what the points difference was, and then he went up to Max and actually apologised, and Max was like, "That's cool, man." And for me, I think, look, that's why I rate Max more as a person and as a champion because of that. It's like, dude, it's fine. Like, you know, he could have had an outburst, absolutely, if he was that sort of petty about it, but. He just took it on the chin. He's like, look, he's got 4 fucking championships, right? He doesn't need to do shit to prove anything to anyone. That's the way, you know, same as all the other champions. They don't need to prove shit to anyone. But I just feel like the way that McLaren had their car set up for the whole season and actually race for the whole season, to them to actually come down to 2-point difference between them, between one of their drivers and another fucking team's driver, that's fucking awful. That is disappointing. That's why I don't really like McLaren winning, because they could have absolutely closed it out. They could have closed it out fucking by Vegas or fucking Singapore or something like that. Could have absolutely just boom, done. He's the champion. See you later, mate. I don't need to even race the next few races. But they didn't. Because of their stupid papaya rules. That's what ruined their fucking season. Because both of their drivers would have been 1 and 2.
Was that a conspiracy?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely was. Because
because if it had been done and dusted 3 races prior, no one would have been interested.
Exactly. No, I get it. I absolutely get it. And I think that, for one, for the FIA and McLaren doing their own shenanigans because they wanted Lando to be fucking champion. Because Lando's been there from the beginning, and I guarantee you, if it's not put in the contract, it has to have been a verbal contract somewhere along the line where it's like, look, mate, doesn't matter who your teammate is, if we have a winning car, you are our champion. I can almost guarantee it, and that's why it's just all those little things. Look, there may be conspiracy for now, right? And I'll admit to that, because it's not like anything's really been proven, but because of all those little reasons added together, that's why I feel like McLaren winning this championship is a fucking fraud. It really is, because Oscar should have absolutely... Like, you can blame Oscar for a couple of mistakes that he's made. Absolutely, of course you can. But you cannot tell me that his car just all of a sudden stopped working for like 6-7 races. And you can't tell me that he made mistakes 6-7 races on the trot. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And yeah, that's why... And what... Last thing, right? What made it even worse is fucking Zach Brown on the radio. Hello? Is that the world champion there? You are gay, bruv. You need to be stopped. You need to be fucking sacked from McLaren for saying dumb shit. That must be the world champion calling. Shut up, you fucking prick. Oh, you got me vexed, Stevie. This is why I didn't want to talk about fucking F1, man. Oh, so fucking vexed.
Touched a bit of a nerve.
Yeah, oh my God. I've hated McLaren since Mika Hakkinen, right? Like, genuine hate for McLaren. But, fuck. Like, these guys just never cease to fucking amaze me with their stupidness. Oh my God, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, sorry. I know obviously you're happy because of British driver. That's fine. But as far as, yeah, I'm concerned, I don't really rate Lando as a champion, to be honest. Because if he was that good as a driver, even the fucking car, even the car when it sort of got worse throughout during the end of the season, he should have won that championship. Right? If he was that good of a driver, he would have fucking dragged that shit all the way to the end, like Max did with his Red Bull, like during the second half of the season. He absolutely was like, all right, so you guys don't want to take this, yeah? You want to do papaya rules? No worries, I'll just step up my game now. He almost had it. He did everything. He won. Even the last race of the season, he won. He did everything in his control. All it would have taken for McLaren, just one of or both drivers to be knocked out. That's it. The end. End of story. So, I don't know, man. Whatever. I look forward to 2026. I can't wait. Team
just
Lewis.
Quickly on Lewis, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think he'll stay or...?
I think he'll stay for the next season because I think that's just what the contract probably said. But at the same time, the way that Ferrari are going about it and actually cancelling stuff of his contract, it just doesn't look right. So, yeah, I'd be very surprised if he left. That's the way I look at it. I think he'll stay for the next season.
I think there's a lot of questions there that need to be answered, and I think he'll be putting down certain things that, you know, I think he'll have a conversation with them and saying, look, this is the reasons why I think we failed, blah blah blah. And I don't think if they're going to be serious next season, they're going to have to listen to him.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely, I agree. And again, that John Elkann guy, he can absolutely go and fuck himself because he shouldn't even be talking about either driver, right? You let the drivers fucking do what they want because, again, you've got a 7-time world champion as part of your team and none of you are listening to him. None of them are listening to him. And that is the disappointing part about Ferrari. And I don't even know why I keep supporting this fucking team. Right? I don't know. I really don't know. It's been 18 years since they won a fucking championship. They've had absolute garbage in the pit box. They need to stop. They need to actually be stopped. So, fuck them. But yeah, I look forward to 2026 for sure. For sure.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Stevie, right, we will leave it there. Even though we said we're going to keep it short, we still ended up doing an hour and 20 minutes. But that's fine. Yeah, man. That's fine. We will be back to regular scheduled programming throughout the week. Or weekend, whatever. And
next Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do a similar time. If we can do a little bit earlier, that'd be good as well. But either way, I don't mind. And cool.
Keep those likes coming. Get subscribing, everybody.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. Stevie, you feeling all right? Are you doing a shout out?
Man.
Are you feeling good? You feeling good? Shit, that illness has really got to you, man. Fuck. But yeah, do exactly what he said. Like, subscribe, all that kind of nice stuff. And we will catch you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay alert.
Au revoir. Oui, oui. Arrivederci. Si.
We're gone. I love it. I think I love it. I don't know. I don't think I love it anymore. All right, we're going.